Here we are in the city of Palms, McAllen, Texas. In the deep corner of the state, it's the Mcallen Memorial Mustangs going up against their crosstown rival, the Mcallen Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are looking to clinch a share of the district title tonight and remain on the undefeated track, while Memorial is looking to stay alive in the playoff picture. Both of them present two top-notch running backs who have combined for nearly 30 touchdowns. It's all coming your way next here on Football Night in McAllen. And welcome to another edition of Football Night in McAllen, with a special emphasis on the word McAllen tonight because we've got two good ones, the Mcallen Bulldogs and the Mcallen Memorial Mustangs. Bulldogs are undefeated this year, looking to clinch a share of the district title and stay undefeated, and the Mustangs looking to stay in the playoff picture. With me, as always, is Mario Reyna. And Mario, pretty good game tonight, and I guess when we start with your keys, I guess we talk about that rivalry that goes back 30 years now.
The rivalry, in the last 5 years, that we've done these games, and for many more years, it's all about the rivalry. Throughout the records, it doesn't matter. Anytime these two, the Mustangs and the Bulldogs, hook up, expect the unexpected.
And Memorial's defense are going to have a tall order tonight.
Absolutely, and last week they had a real difficult night. They got to step up tonight. They got to make some stops, some key stops. They got to come back with a vengeance. They got to show up because the Bulldogs are on a roll.
And one thing we've seen from both of these clubs throughout the year is the ability to make the big play.
And that's what we're going to be looking at, the big play, what offense, what defense, what special team. And you can include the coaches on this because sometimes they make the choices and the decisions that end up with a big play.
And now looking at both teams, they're both not really one-dimensional. They have more facets, but both of them have gotten a lot of stats from their running backs. I think one is ranked number 1, the other one's ranked number 3 in the district. And talk a little bit about that matchup between running backs tonight.
Well, they make no secret about it. Both teams like to stay on the field, ground control, run, and that's how they try to win the games. And what the defenses need to do is try to make the offenses pass the ball, and that's their weaknesses. So it's going to be exciting to see 2 of the top running backs, and Joel Alonso is also a pretty good running back for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and the Trevor Spates, the leading rusher for the Mustangs, leading the district. I think he's second in the Valley, 1,700 yards. And then Ricky Rodriguez for Mchi. Talk a little bit about him.
Well, Ricky Rodriguez is that tough kid that likes to run inside, and he's got great balance. He likes to punish the defense, so he's just a tough customer. And, of course, we know Trevor Spates, he's got that and more because he's got a lot of speed and vision. So it's going to be exciting. It's a treat. If people are not here, they can join us and listen to us on
right here on MITV.
On MITV or on News Center 4, what do they call that?
Yeah, on valleycentral.com, and then also on Time Warner Cable, and coming soon on the MITV or McAllen ISD website. So looking forward to that, and you can see us on all kinds of platforms. But yeah, we've got a good one tonight. Spates and Rodriguez combined for 34 touchdowns and more than 2,000 yards between the two, 2,500. So all of that is coming your way right here next on Football Night in McAllen. We'll see you in a moment here on MITV. And here we are at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. You can see the flag there, Old Glory there to your left by the north end zone, and the McAllen High School run through. And there we see the Memorial Mustangs there on the right side. They'll be the visiting team tonight wearing white. And the Mustangs ready for this game, and a bit of a must-win a little bit as you take a look at the one-loss records there. The Mustangs at 3-3 in the district, and the Bulldogs, of course, at 6-0. Mustangs, Mario, probably need this win a little more badly than Mchi does.
Yes, a loss doesn't eliminate them, but a win definitely puts them in control of their own destiny. So it's really important. This game, of course, the Bulldogs won an undefeated season and a district championship, but this game is more important to the Mustangs.
Yeah, and we could take a look at the district standings. You'll see exactly how they all line up. And we see the Bulldogs right there. They'll be the home team tonight wearing their purple jerseys with the white numerals and the gold trim. Of course, their purple helmets. You look at the standings, Mci's been in first place all season. In fact, they've already clinched a playoff spot. The Weslaco Panthers in second place also are in. Neither team has clinched the district title as yet. East is in third place. Memorial hanging precariously to fourth place right now, but you can see they are technically tied with the PSJA Bears, the team the Mustangs will play next week in what would be likely an elimination game. Nikki Rowe, a winner last night over PSJA North. So Rowe is still in the playoff chase, although they will need to win their last game, and of course will need some help. PSJA North season is mercifully over. As we take a look at the last 5 years between these two teams, it has been a shootout. Memorial winning last year 42-14. Look at those scores. 51-38. Had a little bit of a letdown in 2010 in terms of scoring, and in 09 of Big Barn Burner, I believe that was an overtime game, and then 08, 49-45. And Mci does lead the overall series 19-12. Season results, you can see Mci, it's been all victories. And they opened up with United South and Edinburgh High in non-district, and then they have mowed down all their district opponents so far. Their toughest test, a 26-21 win over Weslaco last week. That was on the road. Mcallen Memorial's been a more up and down. They opened with a win, then took 3 losses, and then turned it around with 3 straight wins, but then they lost a tough one to Weslaco East last week in an incredible game, 63-56. Those two teams combining for 119 points and about 1,200 yards in offense. There you see Mci, their final game will be against PSJA Memorial. That will be on a Thursday. And then the Mustangs also finish up on a Thursday in a game that we'll have here for you on MITV and the McAllenisd.org. We'll have it live streamed, and that's the Mustangs against the PSJA Bears on Thursday, November the 7th. And again, we said that would likely be an elimination game between those two, as they're both tied technically right now for 4th, the last playoff spot in the district. And, the teams that are in the playoffs right now, as we take a look at Class 5A throughout the Rio Grande Valley, and we have, I think, in District 35A, there is Sherryland, and also Edinburgh North have clinched over there. And in District 31 5A, you have 3 teams that have already clinched, Harlingen South, and Los Fresnos. And those 3 are in, and that's the district that will go up against District 31 5A when they meet in the playoffs a couple of weeks from now. So the 2 Harlingens and Los Fresnos are in for sure. One of the Brownsville schools will also get in there. We're getting ready for the national anthem, and it's a special night tonight for the JROTC. You're going to see them all wearing uniforms that pay homage to all the different historical eras for our nation. But first, the national anthem, brought to you by the Mcallen High School Singers. Excellent job there by the Mcallen High School Singers under the tutelage of Mr. Rodrigo Reyes, the choir director at Mcallen High School. And there you see the Memorial Mustangs by the Prancers getting ready to come out of their massive run-through that they have there. And there you see the ROTC. These are all the seniors for ROTC, and you can see the uniforms they're wearing that paying homage to different uniforms from the different armed forces in different historical eras. You can see even West Point, the Civil War, World War I, Vietnam, all represented there. Of course, World War II, Army Aviation, and those are all the seniors in the ROTC program under Captain Raul Munguia and Master Sergeant Blas Loya. So certainly an excellent job those gentlemen are doing with that program, and wonderful to see all that history out there on the field with those uniforms. There you can see them trotting off there, the different uniforms that they're wearing, including that World War II uniform there on the with the flag or the rifle bearer there bringing up the rear.
And he's the one that looks the most scariest of them all.
Yep, and then Mchi is here in mass tonight. All their fans here. And there we see the Mchi sideline as they get ready to start. Coach Kevin Brewer there on the left. And let's look at the two running backs of these two teams. So these are both the men that make these teams go. Trevor Spates for Mcallen Memorial, 1,700 yards. Ricky Rodriguez at 1,070 yards. And Rodriguez third in the district, Spates leading the district. You can see their averages per carry are massive, and they combine for 34 touchdowns. Spates coming off that incredible 289-yard, 5-touchdown performance in his last game against Weslaco East.
And Mark, most of the times when you get that many yards, you expect a victory. And when you score 56 points, you expect a victory. But it didn't happen to the Mustangs last week.
Yeah, the Mustangs, I know their big question mark was the defense. If the defense can get some stops tonight against this high-octane Mchi offense, and if they can get a couple of stops, it certainly gives Memorial an excellent chance. The Bulldogs come in averaging almost 30 points a game, 29.5, and the Mustangs are averaging 34 points a game. So the ingredients are there for a shootout tonight. And in fact, over the last 4 games, the Mustangs have ratcheted up to 55 points a game. So we'll see. Doubtful they'll maintain that pace tonight against this stout Mchi team, but you never know. They have that kind of potential. You saw Trevor Spates there a moment ago getting lined up to receive the kickoff. It'll be him and Ozzy Salazar.
I don't know if you've noticed, on our way up here, you've noticed a lot of energy out there. The fans on both sides are excited about this game for the bragging rights here in the city of Mcallen.
And you know, both teams have beaten Nicky Rowe. Therefore, the winner tonight is the unofficial city champion. And I know both teams will be excited about that. So city championship on the line tonight. Also both teams in the playoff hunt, as here we go. Memorial will receive. They field the ball at their 7-yard line, moving right to left. This is Salazar, and Salazar upended right about the 19-yard line.
And already, and that's probably what's going to happen the whole game. And we talked about it, Mark, at the pregame. The emotions of a rivalry is very important, because when you get out of your element, that's when the mistake starts coming. So it's beautiful night here, Mcallen. The weather's great atmosphere. I'm looking forward to this one.
I love that. I think that's the Mchi band playing the Imperial March there, made famous in the Star Wars film Empire Strikes Back. And in motion as Jonathan Sanchez, the quarterback, will hand this off on the first play from scrimmage. Looks like about a 5-yard pickup there. And that on that carry is number 23, the fullback, Joel Alonso. And Alonso had a huge game last week.
Absolutely.
We talk about Spates, but look at Alonso's numbers.
Yes, and he got 210 yards. Normally he would have been the offensive MVP, but he had 2 other runners in the same game, which was Spates with 289 and the kid from Weslaco East, Saul Cuellar, with over 300 yards.
And here they go on second down. This is Spates on a toss left, has the first down behind a convoy of blockers, gets up to about the 35-yard line, a pickup of 10 on his first carry. Let's take a look at the starters now for the Memorial offense. And there we see Jonathan Sanchez, the sophomore quarterback. They've got 4 sophomores in their starting lineup on offense, and Spates and Alonso can both run the ball very well. There's a massive offensive line that comes in tonight, averaging 248 pounds a man. Pequeño and Velasco, the tackles, they have switched sides from last week. Switch from right to left, and we'll see how that plays out as Spates goes around the near sideline and has a big yardage there. Basically the same play to the right side. He crosses over to Mchi territory at about the Bulldogs 46, a pickup of 19 yards.
And the defense can prepare for Spates all night in practice, but you don't prepare for the moves that he has, and you can never in a practice, you can never emulate a running back until you get on the field. So far, the offensive line for the Mustangs totally dominating.
Give you the defensive starters in just a moment. Just underway here, and Memorial has taken their first possession starting at the 20, now has moved into Mchi territory at the 46, 1st and 10. This is Alonso straight ahead, and he has good yardage across the 40 up to about the 37-yard line. Looks like a pickup of 9 on the play.
Here's the defensive starter led by Zielinski, Vasquez, and Quiroz. Zielinski already in the tackle. And here are your linebackers. Look out for the middle linebacker, Nick Garcia.
There we see the capable secondary there. Marcus Correa has had some, at cornerback, has had some really big plays that have saved some games against Nicky Rowe and a couple of other games. There's Jonathan Sanchez, a sophomore, since he forced into the starting lineup after some injuries, and he's played into his own, had to learn on the job. He goes toss to Spates, and Spates looking for a hole. Is hit, surges forward across the 30 to about the 29-yard line, pick up of 8 and another first down.
And I like to see that replay, Marcus. Trevor Spates kind of introduced himself to a defensive player on a quick run, a pitch to the right side. We look at the replay. Let's see who he runs over, Mark. Right there. Oh, maybe it'd be best for us not to announce who that player was, but we'll go ahead and do that. It was Asiel Garza, who was introduced by Trevor Spates. If he doesn't know him before this game, he knows him now.
There they go, 1st and 10, 9.5 to play in the first quarter. And in motion for the Mustangs, they hand off Alonso. Spates lead block, and Alonso's going to bounce it outside. Crosses the 25 up to about the 23. And Alonso has 6 on that carry, and it's been all run so far for the Mustangs.
And this is the difference between the Mustang offense here now and earlier in the season. The development of Sanchez at quarterback and Joel Alonso, as we take a look at the replay, he pretty much bounced outside. And that's why it makes Trevor Spates so dangerous. You can not only key in on him.
Now DJ Johnson, the sophomore receiver, will split out wide to the right on the low side of your screen. They'll go with a wing right and then an I backfield. 4 down lineman for Mchi. This is going to be handoff, Spates right over right guard. And he knifes his way inside the 20, close to the 18.
So far, the Mustang offense making it look easy. Mark, at the beginning of the game, you can see a very relaxed Marcus Kaufman, offensive coordinator for the Mustangs. I'm going to put him on the All Valley pre-warm-up team. That guy is all over the field having fun, throwing passes, catching passes. He must have thrown over 100 passes, just laughing, having a good time, relaxing his quarterback, who's a very young sophomore.
They are inches short at the 19-yard line, or just shy of the 19. 3rd down and 1. Clock at almost at 8 minutes to play, and Sanchez will keep it himself, has the first down, breaks the tackle to 15, and was still going all the way to the 10-yard line before he was finally brought down by the safety, Ruben Gutierrez.
Sanchez is a big guy. He's not going to be easy to bring down, as he did a quick opener, quarterback keeper to get that safe yard. But Sanchez didn't only want 1 yard. He got more than that. And Sanchez is around 6'5", Mark. He is a big kid for a sophomore. I expect some people to come and look at him in the years to come.
Yeah, he weighs over 200 pounds. Kind of deceptive because he is tall and thin. And the Mustangs will go with 2 tight ends now and a wing left, split backfield. 1st and goal, Alonso over left guard, still turning his way inside the 5, up close to the 3-yard line.
Alonso has proven to us all season that he's not afraid to run inside and get those tough yards. So pretty much the playbook is open for Coach Kaufman here. He can do a pitch out to Spates, another handoff up the middle, or even the quarterback keeper. So defense, they're not in a good position here. What a good start for the Mustangs.
Yeah, 2nd and goal, same formation as before. Mchi was still with 4 down linemen, but they brought the linebackers all in there on the line of scrimmage. Here's Spates, takes the toss, hit in the backfield, and is in for the touchdown. Broke like 3 tackles on there. He was hit in the backfield, but stayed on his feet, kept his head down, and surged his way into the end zone, and the Mustangs draw first blood.
The kids over there on the opposite side, as we know the Mustangs are from Mcallen ISD, but tonight there are the visitors.
They'll try now for the extra point try. Emmanuel Garcia is the holder. David Almadas the kicker. Kick is up, and it is good. 6:53 to play in the first quarter, and it's Memorial 7, Mchi nothing. You're watching Football Night at Mcallen here on MI TV. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Coach Carlos Moreno.
Talking to the members of the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs a little bit concerned, but not panicking by any means. They've undefeated this year and have the confidence to come back in this game.
And Mark, we saw the scores for the Bulldogs. A lot of them, there was about 2-3 games that they did have an easy victory. But most of the victories have been very tight. What's helped the Bulldogs all season long is that they're very consistent both on offense, defense, and special teams.
Jesus Flores, number 17, will be the kicker here on the kickoff.
And let's not forget last week, Coach Littleton for the Mustangs, he had 2 surprise onside kicks.
Indeed, Mchi has to be wary of that. And a moment ago, we saw number 28, Ricky Rodriguez, back to receive the kickoff. And this is going to be high and deep, going to be fielded on the left. And that looks like Marcus Moya at about his 3-yard line across the 20. Then he's hit there and rolls his way up to about the 28. And nice return there for the senior wide receiver. So see if we can get a look at the starters here for the Mcallen Bulldogs. So we see Moya come off, and Fred Hover, the junior quarterback, it was a starter last year, so he has that varsity experience there at the quarterback. And we saw Rodriguez, of course, in the big offensive line right there with 3 juniors and 2 seniors. Hover in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Ricky Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to go right, and goes up the middle for a short gain. I think they're going to give him 4. So Rodriguez came in as the 3rd leading rusher in District 31 5A. Over 1,000 yards, and here he is on carry number 2. And he looked like he had big yardage there before he was finally pulled down by, I believe, 35 for the Mustangs, Derek Alegria.
A good job on the right side of the Bulldog offensive line, Jacob Amar and Jose Reyes. As we take a look at the defensive for the Mustangs, they really need to step it up. Torres, Falcón, Ojeda, and the linebackers led by Cody Stites and Lucas Rios, and the defense led by Nick Marriott.
Yeah, Nick Marriott, the leading tackler. Here's a pass onto the middle, and it's caught by Moya. It's wide open. He's off to the races. Being chased from behind by Alexis Salazar. Salazar can't catch him. Moya has the touchdown from 63 yards.
Mark, that's the difference between both offenses, that the Bulldogs are a little bit more balanced, and Hovar is capable of making the right throw just like he did that. And that's going to do a lot for their offense. Now the Mustangs are going to not only have to worry about the running game, now they're going to have to worry about the passing game.
Rene Escobedo is the kicker. They line up for the extra point. I believe that's Moya holding. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and away. And good. Memorial 7, Mchi 7, 5:34 to play here in the first quarter. Took about 1 minute and 20 seconds for Mchi to score, and it was this play action pass right here.
That was an excellent fake by Hovar to Rodriguez, who attracted a lot of attention, and that allowed Moya to find the opening in the middle of the field for a touchdown for the Mustangs. So it's a game on, folks. 7-7 with 5:34 to go here in the first quarter. And that's going to play into the mindset of the Mustang defense. They've been struggling here, almost giving up 70 points in the last game, and another 7 here they're going to have to definitely make some adjustments on the Memorial defensive side.
See the Mustang, or rather the Bulldog offense right there, looking rather confident. That was a nice 3-play drive there. You can see Moya there, kind of in left of center in your screen. Scored his 3rd touchdown of the year on that 63-yard catch. Mostly a short pass and a long run for Moya. Here's the kickoff by Mchi, and this is going to go out of bounds. So no time off the clock. Yeah, that drive, 3 plays, 72 yards. Mchi scoring quickly. This is referee Mike Buck and his crew.
Bounds on the kicking team. Mustangs have elected to take it to the 30-yard line, 1st and 10.
And Mark, I wonder why he wears a white hat and everybody else wears a black hat.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
See, if you watched Hopalong Cassidy as a kid, you would know all those things. Good guys always wear white and the bad guys in black.
Oh, thank you for clearing that up, Mark.
So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 30 following the kickoff out of bounds. They'll toss this left to Spates. Spates, who had 289 last week, hit as he crosses the line of scrimmage, tried to spin around, but stopped for a short 2-yard gain.
That's what the defense has to do. Good defensive tackle right there by the Bulldogs. Number 50, we had Austin Ochoa making sure that he didn't jump the gun, maintain his defensive position, and did an excellent job. What you want to do on defense is try to keep Trevor Spate between the hash marks.
Mchi came in to tonight giving up 230 yards on the ground. That's an average per game. But here they've done a good job here, and on 2nd down they hold Spates again to a short gain after he was hit once, and then the second man able to bring him down. And so it'll be 3rd down and 6.
That's a perfect picture defensive play right there. That's the only way you can do it, by Andrew Martinez. Doing a great job. That's the only way you can bring Trevor Spates down. You've got to hit him right between the numbers and hang on.
Yeah, don't let him get into the open field if you're trying to stop him. 4 down lineman for Mchi. 3rd down and 6. Sanchez going to keep it. Owen around left side. Picks up a block from Alonso and gets up to about the 39. He's going to be short.
He is indeed short. And too early in the game here, Mark, with a 4th and 1, 4 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter. Pretty much, I wonder what the Coach Kaufman and Coach Bill Lilton going to do. A 4th and 1 in your own territory. But the way the Mustangs have been operating and the fact that they need to win, they need to take their shots. And here's one of the keys to our game, a big play early in the game. This could be a momentum,
yeah, big
change
shift
of
here
momentum.
and a big roll of the dice here as Memorial looks like they will go for it here. Now the play clock is down to 2 seconds. They're not going to get this off. And I think they just called a timeout. So Memorial calls timeout before the delay clock runs out on them. I thought maybe they were lining up just to see if they could get Mchi to jump offside, but they end up calling a timeout here. So looks like they will come back and run a play.
A 4th and 1 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds early in the 1st quarter. The Mustangs, we know that the last 4 games, Mark, they have averaged 55 points a game. So they're playing at their very highest right now on the offensive side. Lots of confidence. I think they will be going for it if you're averaging 55 points per game, Mark.
Yeah, why not?
But the Mustangs, the Bulldog defense, I understand last week they had a big 4th and 1 situation at the end of the game, and they stopped the Panthers. So
the Panthers stopped the Bulldogs on a 4th and goal situation. So we take a look at Mr. Albert Canales there. He was the principal of Mcallen High School. But this is the Mustangs' 4th down opportunity, and Sanchez is barking out signals and leans forward into a center. And I think they caused a inadvertent illegal procedure.
And now pretty much there's not going to be no choice. If the penalty's on the Mustangs, they are going to have to punt. We take a look at my buddies, the officials, Mike Buck, Eddie Ramos, Ramiro Veselios, Dennis Cantu, Art Alvarado. Two of those guys are also basketball officials. Mark, that play kind of looked unusual, like quarterback Sanchez wanted the center to give him the ball. It never happened, and he lost his balance.
There might have been trying to draw Mchi off. And here's the first punt of the evening. The first punt in 2 games for Memorial. They did not punt last week against Weslaco East, and this bounces straight up in the air, which is unusual for a football in Mchi territory, and down by Memorial, no return, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Mchi at their own 39.
So I'm sure defensive coordinator Moises Patterson for the Mustangs and Coach Bill Littleton had a lot of words to encourage their defense. Let's see what happens here in the second possession for the Bulldogs.
So Hover in the pistol will hand this off to his fullback, Matthew Rencones, his first carry. And Rencones brought down by a couple of Mustangs, including Lucas Rios was in there, and 42 Sam Hinojosa.
It's got to be tough on the defense for Memorial. We know Ricky Rodriguez has had great games, but they also have to worry about Hovar running, who's also in the top 5, I think, in rushing, and now they have to worry about his passing.
Snap to Hover in the shotgun. It's going to throw short pass. It's caught, and now running forward, breaks a tackle and gets a first down, going into Mustang territory a little bit. It was Justin Gonzalez making his first catch.
And Justin Gonzalez getting a good round of applause from the Bulldogs as we take a look at a beautiful camera angle, an isolation. Gonzalez did a good job of first catching the ball, and then he broke a tackle and gained an additional 5 or 6 yards. That's why he got a good ovation by the Bulldog faithful.
Over 76 yards on 2 passes so far. This is Rodriguez on first down, a gain of about 2.
We're not used to saying a gain of only 2 yards with both of these offenses, Mark.
Yeah, both teams have done a pretty good job of holding the other's running back in check so far. But Mchi has struck with a long touchdown pass, and Memorial was able to drive down the field in 10 plays on their first possession and eventually scoring. Here's Hover on 2nd and 7. He's going to do play action pass and go long down the right side, and it's caught inside the 10-yard line. Juan Gomez, the leading receiver on the Bulldogs, his 19th catch of the season.
And bring out those dog bones, Mark. Excellent throw by Fred Hovar, and a very, very good catch by, as you said, Juan Gomez. Excellent concentration by Gomez. He kept his eye on the ball, made sure that he caught it. And the Bulldogs, once again, in pay dirt territory.
It's going to be 1st and goal here in the pistol. They hand this off and get nowhere. Hand off to 22, Ian Gully.
Lucas Rios has had a good season all year. Doing a good job as we take a look at the angle. Lucas Rios, awesome job by the middle linebacker, Lucas Rios. And they're going to need a lot more of that tonight if the Mustangs want to have a chance to win this ball game.
A loss of 2 on the play, back to the 11, 2nd and goal. Over wants to throw, it's intercepted! Intercepted at the 10-yard line by the Mustangs and run out to the 21. That's just the kind of big play that the Mustangs needed, and it's a senior linebacker, Cody Stites.
And Cody Stites making the big play, and that's exactly what the Mustangs needed here because it didn't look good with the Bulldogs on the run. Exactly what the defense wanted to try to get some confidence on that defensive side. Hovar just did not see Cody Stites in front of him. That's an excellent catch because it was a short pass, Mark.
Yeah, it was a bullet. But Stites got his mitts around it, runs it out to the 22, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, who dodge a bullet there. Toss left, that's Alonso, going to cut it back in. Hit by a couple of Bulldogs on that play, including 21 Armando Garces, who's starting at linebacker tonight. I think number 50 was also in there. That was Austin Ochoa.
And that's something I've noticed about the Mcallen Bulldog defense. There's a bunch of good players out there. You just don't have one that we're going to call out their name all the time. They've just got a bunch of good players on defense.
30 seconds left in the first quarter. Toss to the wide side. This is Spates. Cuts inside of Martinez. Rolls over another defender as he has first down yardage up past the 35. About the 37-yard line, a gain of 10.
And a little respect right there paid by the defense by Zielinski, who is one of the better defensive linemen. You know, this kid right here, Mark, Trevor Spade, it doesn't matter if you're a defensive lineman. Boom, he runs over Zielinski. That's a defensive end. You're not supposed to do that to a defensive end.
Yep, Zielinski's a good one too. See if they get this play off. 6 seconds left in the quarter. And it's play action pass for Sanchez. His first throw of the game, going long down the left side. One man down there, tipped and incomplete. Intended for DJ Johnson, and good coverage there by Mci's defender, number 30, Marcus Correa, the senior cornerback. So we've reached the end of one. We're all tied at 7. We took a look at the replay here, and we've got some fireworks brewing. It's 7-7 after one quarter.
Excellent play by Correa, Mark, because you don't expect the Mustangs to pass. So the element of surprise didn't work on that one. Possible dog bone right there by Correa.
See some other highlights from the first quarter here. There's the touchdown by the Mustangs on their first drive. And then Mci came back on their first possession, throwing this nice pass here on a third down play action call that went to Moya. 63 yards for the TD. I think they're about ready to start the second quarter now. And they've switched ends. Mustangs now going right to left. Mustangs facing second down and 10. Their own 37-yard line. And it looks like a bit of a busted play. Sanchez keeps it, tries to go around the right side. Hit by Martinez. And also contributing on the tackle, 45, Kevin Hilgenfeld, who is a starting tight end, but playing also a little defense there tonight.
And it did look like a busted play, Mark, well noted by you. And sometimes that's what happens when you have some key sophomores on offense. Sanchez was looking for somebody to give it to. He had nobody to give it to, and he did the smart thing of just grab the ball and run as hard as you can and turn a busted play into a 4-yard gain, brings up 3rd and 6.
Mustangs, the visiting team here tonight, so they're wearing their white jerseys. Mci, the home team. Here's Sanchez, wants to throw on 3rd down and 6. He gets Spates over on the left side, and Spates forced out of bounds, but looks like he has enough for the first down.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight one, Mark.
He needed the 47-yard line. I think they've got it spotted right on the 47, so this may call for a measurement. And they have called an official's timeout here in the first minute of the second quarter.
All right, Mark, so what do you think on this one?
All right. Judging from where the sticks are, I'd say he's got it.
Well, I don't know where the ball is. If the officials and the coaches could get out of the way for us, maybe we could. It's going to be close. And if they don't have it, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Brewer will do. Nice camera angle.
See the ball there. Can't quite tell from that angle. I think it's short just by a couple of inches.
Well, let's see what Coach Brewer will do. And I want to make sure I get his name right, Mark, because last time I called him Coach Brewster, and I had people calling me. I know Roddy Zamora from All Valley Spring Printing. I went over there to his office the other day, and he was telling me it's Coach Brewer. So I'm going to make sure tonight I call him Coach Brewer.
When you're 8-0, everybody knows the coach's name. You can see there just a couple of links of the chain short of the first down. So it's 4th down and just a few inches.
And they're going for it, Mark. Coach Littleton, the risk taker.
So the Mustangs tried to go for it on 4th down earlier in the game, had an illegal procedure call negate that. They ended up punting. And now they appear to be going for it here on 4th and inches. High backfield behind Sanchez. Sanchez, toss left to Spates. Spates has the first down across the 50 up to about the 48. Mci, it looked like they had it defensed well. Spates initially didn't have any place to go. Just kind of put his head down and ran as fast as he could and was able to use his momentum to push the pile forward and up for a first down on a gain of 5.
And anytime you have a rusher that's going to gain about 2,000 yards this year, why not? Coach Littleton knows he needs a victory. He took the risk. It's not much of a risk when you have Trevor Spates in your backfield.
So, fresh set of downs for the Mustangs, just in Bulldog territory at the 48. 10:35 to play in the second quarter, all tied at 7. Mustangs with 2 tight ends. Receiver split wide right. That's Johnson up there. They'll go to Spates on a toss right. Block from Alonso. And surges forward with a good gain there of about 7 yards.
You know, Mark, and even on plays where it doesn't look like there's nothing there, somehow Trevor Spates will get you 6 yards.
Augustine Frias, defensive lineman, with the tackle there. Gain of 6. Mustangs over 100 yards rushing in this game. Of course, they came in tonight leading the district at 358 yards a game. So they just churn it out. And here's Alonso, the fullback, slips through the 40-yard line and has the first down up to about the 36. He's brought down by David Ayala.
You know, Mark, and even though the Mchi defense gives up a lot of yards, they actually come in here with the second best defensive unit in allowing points per game. So that's a mark of a good defense. They'll give you the yards and give you the yards, but they just don't give you the points.
You're right, they bend, they don't break. So in the loaded pistol there for Sanchez, going to hand it off to Spates, who kind of runs into his own man, then loses his balance. It was Thomas Rodriguez, the guard, who was setting a block from him. And Spates is held to a 3-yard gain.
And actually, I'm just going to say Thomas Rodriguez from Memorial, give him credit on that tackle of his own running back, Trevor Spates.
Technically a gain of 2. About 2.5 there. Under 9 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Now Sanchez alone, empty gun. Spates goes in motion. Spates takes the handoff. Going around the left side is hit, still churning his legs, and up to about the 25-yard line. Took 4 Bulldogs to bring him down, including Zielinski and Andrew Martinez.
I'm glad you know the stat, Mark, that it did take more than one defensive player for the Bulldogs to bring him down. What patience by Trevor Spates. You would think a sophomore with his kind of speed that he just grab the ball and run hard. But he is quite the runner, very patient, allows his blockers to do the blocking for him, and then he just puts it into the second and third gear.
Mustangs with 8 first downs here in this first half. As we see Garza go in motion, he'll line up in the slot. This is Alonso, big hole up the middle. Across the 20 to about the 19. Ayala bringing him down.
You cannot forget about Joel Alonso, a big 6-yard gain there. And every coach, every offensive coach will always take 6 yards on a first down. 2nd and 4, you pretty much have your offensive playbook open.
7:52 to play, second quarter. Anthony Esparza, the junior center, snaps it to Sanchez. Now to Alonso, end around to the right side, crosses the 20, hit at the 16, and still going inside the 10-yard line, and it'll be first and goal. Nice second effort there by the senior fullback, Joel Alonso.
Joel Alonso, Mark. Joel Alonso, after contact, he gained at least close to 9 yards. Did a great job, Mark, of taking the contact, had no problem hitting, maintaining his balance, and gain an additional 6 or 7 yards. So it's a first and goal at the 7-yard line for the Mustangs.
Yeah, 13-yard pickup there by Alonso, most of it on second effort. Now they're going to go with power I left behind Sanchez, who is under center. Bulldogs 4 down linemen. And they're going to hand this off over left guard. That's Alonso. And he has good room up to about the 3, a gain of 4.
Boy, that Mustang offensive line, so far they're controlling the trenches. Anthony Esparza, Teddy Garcia, Eduardo Pequeño, Thomas Rodriguez, Ryan Valesco, Andrew Leal, making it easy for Spates and Alonso. You know, at the goal line defense right there, Marcus, where you can tell right there who can control that line of scrimmage.
Been a long drive here with the Mustangs, under 7 minutes now. Toss left, this is Spates, has 2 blockers, hit at the 2, still surging, but he's pushed back. And a big stop there for the Bulldogs, as it looked like Spates was going to score. And I think it was Nick Garcia who had the initial hit and just refused to yield there. and it's going to be 3rd and goal.
This is a culture of the Bulldog defense, Mark. They toughen up. Inside the 5, they toughen up. Trevor Spades had actually 2 or 3, now 4 or 5 defensive players on him. Look for a long run outside by Spades on this one. See if he can find some opening to the outside.
3rd down and goal, high backfield, and Sanchez to keep it, and he scores. Touchdown Mustangs. Sanchez over the left guard. Teddy Garcia has put the Mustangs in front once again.
And I think the Bulldog defense expected what I expected, something to Spades outside, and the element of surprise, your big quarterback, 6'5", quarterback keeper, the safe play. The Mustangs are back on top, 13-7.
Mustangs up to 159 yards rushing in this game. Here's David Almadas, the extra point try is bobbled. Almadas picks it up, trying to run it in, is hit at the 3 and down at the 1 yard line. Andrew Martinez with the tackle, and the Mustangs try for 2 is no good. Kind of a bobbled snap, and then Almadas with a good effort here, but Andrew Martinez got a hold of him, pulled him down right at the 1 yard line. Try for 2 is no good, but the Mustangs still in front, 13-7, 5:56 to play here in the 2nd quarter. You're watching Football Night at Mcallen right here on MITV. Okay, here we are back at Football Night at McCallen Veterans Memorial Stadium. You see another replay of the touchdown there by Sanchez. In this drive, remember, Mario started that interception by Cody Stiles.
Yes, and that's exactly what the Mustang defense needed to do. Anytime you have a quarterback 6'5", Mark, it's an easy call for Coach Kaufman. He's not only 6'5", he's pretty strong.
That drive was just a gem. 14 plays, 78 yards. Time of the drive, 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Exactly what the Mustangs want. And here's the kickoff, fielded at the 2. Run straight ahead across the 20. That's Rodriguez, and then it gets across the 30 up to about the 32-yard line. A big return there for the Bulldogs. Finally brought down by Carlos Garza, senior linebacker.
And it's a good thing that Carlos Garza was there to make the tackle, because it looked like Ricky Rodriguez would have had a big opening. It was not for Carlos Garza.
He very nearly broke it. Kind of shades of, I think it was Nick Garza, who back in 2009 had the big kickoff return in the last 20 seconds to win a game for the Bulldogs. Last time the Bulldogs beat Memorial, 09. And here's Rodriguez, hit in the backfield by Stites, and then continues forward. And Marriott pulls him down from behind. I think also contributing number 4, Jesse Osuna.
And in this play, you'll see that Ricky Rodriguez gets 6 yards, but actually he should have been brought down for maybe a 2 or 3 yard loss, but he broke that tackle, so he turns the loss, a possible 1st and 13, into a 2nd and 4.
Yeah, excellent run there and second effort there by Rodriguez. They're going to go Rodriguez again. They fake it to him this time. Hover wants to keep it. Is hit, spins, first down, Moore hops his way across midfield and is still going deep into Mustang territory. Brought down at the 43. Marriott again on the tackle. A shoestring job that time. And Hover just almost breaking that one.
What a hard run. Quarterback is not supposed to do that. They're not supposed to run like that. But Hovar has become a very good offensive rusher. He broke a tackle and refused to go down.
Yeah, that was a 19-yard run there by Hover. And here's Rodriguez up to the 45. Hover had a big run last week against Weslaco, 47 yards. Went for a touchdown. So he is capable of busting the big one, as we saw Rodriguez get 3.
Absolutely, 1-2 punch. You can't just key in on Ricky Rodriguez. You have to worry about Hovar.
Over in the shotgun, low snap, but has time. Lofts it over the middle. Man is wide open. It's Moya, and Moya's going to score. Moya's second touchdown of the night.
Well, Mark, somebody has found an opening in the middle of the defense for the Mustangs. And that pretty much looked like the same play that they scored earlier on in the first quarter. And of course, now they're going from north to south, but it almost looked like the same play that they ran in the first quarter, also for a touchdown for Moya. Escobedo's in for the extra point.
And Moya to hold. This can put the Bulldogs in the lead for the first time tonight. There's the snap. Escobedo's kick up and away, and it is good. And for the first time, the Bulldogs have the lead. 14, Memorial 13. Here's another look at the touchdown. This wasn't even play action. Over looking for Moya all the way.
The other thing that this does for Hobart, remember the last time they had the possession, he threw an interception. So it gives them confidence that the coaches are confident in him to have the ability to throw, come back and have a pass for a touchdown. There's nothing more that can bring in quarterbacks, and I doubt it if Hobart was down on the last interception.
And that drive going 68 yards in just 4 plays. So Mchi tends to score quickly. Memorial tends to grind it out more, as Memorial's touchdown drive was over 7 minutes, and Mchi's took less than 2.
And Moya, if you take a look at his helmet, he's got a lot of dog bones that he's earned from throughout the season. So he's probably earned a couple here more. And I don't know what happened to our camera crew, but they never got Big Mac. Is Big Mac asleep out there? The mascot.
Oh yeah, Big Mac's out there on the track.
Taking it easy, just relaxing.
We'll check in with Big Mac shortly. Just over 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Mustangs have 2 timeouts, and they will field this kickoff at the 7-yard line. This looks like Salazar up across the 20, across the 25, and about the 27-yard line.
Boy, this game's going by real fast, Mark.
It is. Well, both these teams like to run the football. Memorial 159 yards on the ground and 6 through the air. For Mchi, it's 39 yards on the ground, 151 through the air. 104 yards coming on 2 big pass plays to that man right there, Marcus Moya. And Moya now with 4 touchdowns on the season. He's doubled his output just in this first half here tonight. Here's Sanchez in the shotgun. Gonna hit Garza. Garza on a flanker screen. Has big yardage and is finally hit way downfield and brought down by Correa. Got a huge gain there. And a nice catch by Asay Garza, the senior receiver.
Nice catch, nice throw, everything worked. And Coach Kaufman, not known for throwing the ball a lot. He found an opening. Somebody told him there's an opening in the middle of the field, and both teams have found some positive yardage right up the middle on passing plays up the middle.
26 yards. You see Marcus Kaufman in the middle of your screen. He's the offensive coordinator for the Mustangs. 26-yard pickup there by Garza, just in Bulldog territory at the 47. Now to Spates, trying to bounce it out right side. Is hit. Nice job by the Bulldog defense to string that out. That looked like Andrew Martinez over there, along with number 50, that's Memorial, number 50, Austin Ochoa.
So far, the Bulldogs are doing a good job of tackling, keeping Trevor Spates under control. He hasn't had those big 40 to 50-yard blasts that we're used to.
Second down and 7, just over 3 minutes left. Mchi up by a point. High backfield, play action pass. Sanchez rolling left. It's going to hit his man. It's Alonso, but he can't hang on. Intended for Alonso, incomplete. It will bring up 3rd down.
Mark, and with 3 minutes to go, boy, we're going to get to that halftime, and I'm sure both fans are excited that they have Division I bands.
Yeah, those Division I bands for Mchi and Memorial. And for play at halftime, both getting Division I at Pigskin competition in mid-October. And they have quite a tradition. They've both gotten Division I's, I believe it's about 10 years in a row, at least 10 years for both programs. 3rd down and 7 here for the Mustangs. 3:01 to play in the first half. 14-13, Mchi in front. Here's Sanchez, wants to keep it. Hit at the 40 and jumps ahead to about the 38. He's going to be about a yard and a half shy of the first down. And another decision here for Coach Bill Littleton.
And you know, this defensive unit is well coached by a defensive coordinator for the For the Bulldogs, Coach Tracy Hamilton. These kids are very well coached on defense. They maintain their defensive positions, and they're doing a good job of tackling. And a 4th and 1, this is the 3rd time this game that Coach Bill Littleton goes for it on 4th and 1.
Hawks at 2.5 minutes to play. 4th down, a long yard. Sanchez under center. Going to hand this off. And surging ahead, I think, is Alonso. Alonso looks like he has enough for the first down. Gained about 2, maybe 3 yards there.
And you know, Mark, a lot of people would not think that on a 4th and 1, Coach Kaufman would go to Alonso. But Coach Confidence, his offense is clicking. Everybody's clicking. Everybody can get that 1 yard. Alonso's a tough inside runner. Sanchez can have the quarterback keeper, and of course we know what Trevor Space can do.
Well, the Mustangs need to get moving here. We're at 2 minutes to play in the first half. They still have 2 timeouts. Fresh set of downs at the Bulldog 36. And Sanchez back to throw, but nowhere to go. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. Looks like Mark Vasquez, the junior defensive tackle, getting in there and wrapping him up. Had some teammates back there too, and I think the Mustangs, or rather the Bulldogs now, wanting to use the timeout, and that'll be there first.
And the Bulldogs fans are happy about that play. And this is an inexperience of Sanchez. He is young. He is a sophomore. He doesn't have that time clock right now since they don't throw a lot. He just hung on to the ball too much. But give him credit. Rather than to try to make something out of nothing, he held on to the ball and is still 2nd and 19.
Alexis Aliman, Nick Garcia also back there for the Bulldogs. Let's see if we can listen in here on their timeout.
Okay? 17, right, Coach? If it's empty, if it's empty.
All right,
I don't know.
Why do you think the Bulldogs decided to use timeout there?
Before we say that, I mean, I was just impressed with those 2, what do you call those 2 angles right there at the same time. I think the Bulldogs, they're thinking they can, at a 2nd and 19, they're probably thinking that they can hold the Mustangs and maybe force them into a possible throwing, which plays into the Bulldog defense.
Yeah, maybe get the ball back here. They can stop some time and get a stop here on the Mustangs, who now face 2nd and 19. The Mustangs definitely out of their comfort zone when they need to throw the football. See Zielinski lined up as a right defensive end. He's coming in. Sanchez time to throw, and this is incomplete. Looked like the same play they had success with before that went for 26 yards when they hit Garza there on the left side. This time they lined up Garza on the right.
And you're right, Mark. It looks like the same play. But not only did they not catch the ball, it also stops the clock. So it's a 3rd and 19.
And that saves Mchi a timeout there. Both teams with 2 timeouts left. 1:39 to go before halftime. Mchi in front. The difference right now, an extra point, 14-13. Now we've got an official's whistle.
And Mark, I can see why they make that quick throw.
Delay of game. 5 yards.
Delay of game. It gives them, now it's going to be 3rd and 24. But I can see why they have those quick throws to Asiel Garza. The defense is actually about 15 yards deep. They're allowing that throw. So somebody spotted that upstairs. And they might do that. If you take a look at the field, you'll see where Asiel Garza is. The defender is at least 15 yards back.
Just the second penalty on the Mustangs, but at a bad time. 3rd and 24. Sanchez, plenty of time, throws it long down the left, and it's incomplete. Looks like Correa almost picked it off, number 30. And they'll bring up 4th down. And indeed, the Bulldogs will have a good 85 seconds or so to do something with it.
Pretty much Sanchez trying to make something.
I think they're trying to get this to Spates.
Right, but it was slightly overthrown. But boy, this is the first time in a couple of years, Mark, that I hear the fans all the way up here, the Bulldog fans. You can hear them. Of course, we have the window open because we have no AC.
Yeah, David Ayala also back there defending on that play, and DJ Johnson, the other receiver. Here's the punt. Second punt of the night for the Mustangs. This is high and short. And no fair catch called as Bulldog fields it, and his hit immediately goes down at the 22. And I think that was number 8, Ryan Puente, the backup receiver.
Wow.
Looks like he was brought down by John McGee.
He had no problems taking that ball with a lot of defenders real close by.
You should be on that, what they have on television, that good hands
Listen
team.
to the fans, Mark. Listen to the Bulldog fans.
The Bulldogs with 2 timeouts and 85 seconds to go before halftime. They have a triple stack on that left side, unusual formation, but they just run a simple play straight ahead to Ricky Rodriguez.
There's nothing wrong with that play because Ricky Rodriguez is very capable of big yardage anytime he carries the ball.
So they'll line up quickly as the clock continues to run. Only a 2-yard gain there. Bulldogs at their own 24. Clock now under a minute to play in the first half. Triple stack again on the near side, but they send Moya in motion to the slot on the left side. They fake a handoff to Rodriguez, and Hover wants to keep it and picks up about 3. It'll bring up 3rd down.
The Bulldogs are going to use a timeout here with 46.6 seconds to go.
That'll leave the Bulldogs with 1 timeout.
I wonder if Hovar is going to try to look for a receiver right down the middle because they've had success with Moya, or has the defense for Memorial made those necessary adjustments?
Both times they've gone to Moya, he's been wide open, almost like a broken assignment.
10 river, H motion, switch left.
I know that's a concern for the Mustangs, as Mchi facing just their 2nd 3rd down of the evening. They've had such an explosive attack this evening.
And Mark, we have talked about the Memorial defense having to show up, and they've done a good job, but they've been helped by the offense that they've been on the field a lot. So you combine this is a team effort.
So 3rd down and 5. 46 seconds left in the first half. Moya in motion. Over in the shotgun. Rodriguez stays in to block. Long pass over the left sideline, and it's caught by Moya. Moya falls down, and the clock will stop for a moment as they move the chains.
I can call this play, Mark. I think we're going to have a clock it. Maybe not. No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're getting ready.
35 yards on that pickup. So it'll be a 1st and 10 in Mustang territory at the 38. Hover wants to throw. This one's short and way too short, intended for number 3, Juan Gomez. And it'll stop the clock in 2nd and 10.
Mark, that was an excellent catch in the previous play. Nice pass by Hovar, and the concentration by Moya was excellent. 3 big catches already, I think, for Moya, or at least 2 for a touchdown in that one.
Clock stopped at 30.8 seconds. 2nd down and 10, Mustang 38. Hover wants to throw again toward the left sideline, into traffic, and it's overthrown, incomplete. He was trying to hit Moya in between 2 defenders, so that was going to be a real tough throw if he was able to squeeze that in there.
3rd and 10, we'll see what the Bulldog offense has, but we can see why Hovar is coming into his own.
He's done very well this first half. 5 for 8, 186 yards and 2 touchdowns, but now facing a 3rd and 10. Here he is back to throw, has time. Short pass over the middle, caught by Moya, and he has the 1st down, and is down out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Perfect execution there by the Bulldogs.
Perfect execution. Great throw by Hovar. Good protection by the big offensive line. And Moya doing an excellent job of understanding the game, knowing that it's important for him, even though he's a young high school kid, knowing that he has to go out of bounds to stop the clock, and more importantly, to save that one precious timeout the Bulldogs have with 19.5 seconds to go here at halftime.
You can hear the Bulldog bark there over the scoreboard. Bulldogs the home team tonight, so they get to do that. 19 seconds left. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Hover rolls out left and passes it, caught out of bounds. That's Gomez.
Nice fake to Rodriguez. And anytime a quarterback rolls against his throwing motion and makes the right throw, you got to be impressed by that. So Mark, with 2nd and 2, Coach Brewer can go for a first down because we know that stops the clock, or he can take his shots into the end zone. He pretty much has 2 or 3 shots into the end zone.
Yeah, 15 seconds. Can run 3 plays. There's a snap. They're going to fake it to Rodriguez, and Hover wants to keep it, lobs it, and it's incomplete. A little bit into traffic as Memorial's defense had adjusted well to that, intended for Rolando Villagomez.
Pretty much a pass that was not there. Give credit to the Memorial defense stepping up to the plate. This is a huge play, Mark, 3rd and 2. Got to give credit to Mustang defense. Ozzy Salazar doing a good job on Gomez. We haven't heard about Gomez so far.
The Bulldogs can throw something short of the end zone here because they do still have a timeout in their pocket. 10 seconds left. Rodriguez is in the slot. Hover back to throw. Throws it left. It's caught. First down. Out of bounds at about the 6. And it's Justin Gonzalez on the catch. And that'll move the chains. They have a 1st and goal, but just 6 seconds to work with.
Well, what do you do now? At the ball at the 6-yard line. If you're going to pass, it better be a quick pass because you have 5.9 seconds to go. Expect a shot into the end zone. One of those, Mark, that it's a quick, as soon as the quarterback grabs it, he either throws a slant and just makes it happen as quick as possible because you don't want to lose that opportunity where the clock runs out on you and then you don't have that opportunity to at least get 3 points out of this wonderful drive here at the end of the half by the Bulldogs.
And now we've got a official's whistle. I think a timeout has been called.
Bulldogs, 3rd and final timeout of the 1st half.
Timeout Bulldogs, and that'll be their last one, which is okay. There are only 6 seconds left. Really only, maybe might be able to get 2 plays. If you throw a quick pass into the end zone, you might be able to have time for a second play. They have a 1st and goal at the Mustang 6. And what a heartbreaker this would be for Memorial if Mchi is able to cash in. Right now it's a 1-point game. That Mchi could go in with a just over a touchdown lead if they're able to score here. This drive, by the way, remember, started after a punt at the Bulldog 22-yard line.
You know, and it's one of these right here, Mark. Although this play is going to happen here in the first half, these are the type of plays we call big plays. Who's going to make the big play? The offense gets 6 or 7 points out of this, or the defense puts a shutout, big play early, or here at the end of halftime. I don't think they'll run the ball and risk the fact that they don't have any more timeouts. So expect a quick pass.
Looks like now they are going to go in a pistol here with Rodriguez in the backfield along with Hover, but he'll probably be staying in to block. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Hover wants to throw. Quick pass in the end zone is incomplete. Clock stops with 2.5 seconds left. So they'll have time for 1 more play.
And the competitor, Hover, he wanted a pass interference on that play. But that's pretty much what we call, Mark, a quick pass, a quick slant, a post. They had that opportunity there, but it could have been. Good job. Pass to Marcus Moya.
It was intended for Moya.
Trying to get at least 3 out of this.
Oh, they're going to try the field goal here. So the last play of the first half will be a field goal attempt for Escobedo. This will be from 23 yards out. This is high. May have been tipped, and it's no good. It is no good. It was high. It looked like it may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, and the Mustangs dodge a bullet here on the last play of the first half, and they go in with a little bit of momentum.
I think Derek Alegria came in there. Or no, it was
Salazar?
Alegria was the one that was celebrating because of a good job done by Ozzy Salazar. So let's put it there as one of the big plays for the Mustangs.
Yeah, the quick cornerback Ozzy Salazar getting in there, getting his right hand on it. And as you can see, it is no good from 23 yards. And so at halftime, Bulldogs still have the lead, 14-13, but the Mustangs hanging on. We'll be back with our second half stats right after you see the Mighty Mustang Band and the Mighty Bulldog Band. You'll enjoy the halftime performance from both of them, and we'll be back with an exciting second half right after this. You're watching Football Night in Mcallen on MITV.